Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, the two deputies and the entire leadership of the Commission, let me warmly welcome you to today's edition of Let the Citizen Know. Now, Let the Citizen Know briefing gives the opportunity to the Electoral Commission to disseminate relevant information on the electoral process and its purpose, and more importantly, on the ongoing voter registration exercise. Before we set the ball rolling, shall we respectfully ask Mr. Michael Whelan, Director Training, to say a word of prayer. Thank you.
Shall we please bow a word of prayer? Our Lord and Master Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity. It's a great opportunity because to live is a privilege. For this we say thank you. Commit this gathering to your care. We invite you to take absolute control. Father, renew our strength where we are weak. Grant us the grace to succeed. Grant us the wisdom to know how to order our steps. At the end of it, oh Lord, may your name be glorified as you see us through to the very end. This we ask in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Director, for that powerful prayer. Now, shall we do the needful? Let me take this opportunity to introduce to you the commissioners as well as the directors of the commission. Once again, we are privileged to have with us our own chairperson, Mrs. Chini Benson. Is planned by deputies. We have Dr. Bosman Eric Asari, Deputy Chairman, Corporate Services. Then Mr. Samuel Tete, he is the Deputy Chairman in charge of operations. Dr. Sri Bope, who is the Director of Electoral Services, is here with us as well. And then we have Mr. Lawrence Sapper, Director Administration. Dr. Collins Yeboah Afari is the Director IT. Mr. Samuel Gwedu is Director HR. We are also privileged to have with us Mr. Michael Gwedu, he said a word of prayer, Director Training. Next is Mr. Alex Akubia, Director Research and Monitoring. We have Mr. George Ashon, Head of Finance. And then my humble self, Sylvia Ano, Acting Director of Public Affairs. Thank you very much. And a warm welcome once again. Let's go straight to Dr. Bosman Eric Asari for him to make his presentation. Dr. Bosman Eric Asari, thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the press. The Commission wishes to express its sincere gratitude for your presence in our quest to communicate with the good people of Ghana. This is the 7th edition of Let the Citizen Know. This platform provides the Commission the unique opportunity to engage directly with our stakeholders in our effort to deepen transparency, fairness, and integrity. At this point, it is worth appreciating the goodness of the Almighty God, who began a great work with us and will surely see to the successful conclusion of the registration exercise and all the related activities of the Commission in 2020. We are anticipating that the very few days left in the registration exercise will be equally gratifying. And let me admit that when we started, we didn't know we'll get to a point where we may be getting close to achieving our target. But the good Lord has been very, very good to us. This morning's briefing will highlight on the following thematic areas. Overview of the registration exercise, the guarantor system, foreigners trying to register, the challenge process, total number of registered voters per region, Since our last briefing on Monday, 27 July 2020, we are pleased to inform all our stakeholders that the registration exercise has been smoothly progressing. The registration teams have been reporting to the centers on time, and there are no reports of shortages of critical registration items like the Form 1A, Form 1C, guarantor forms, among others. The Commission continues to ensure the safety of its officials and applicants, and in so doing, the COVID-19 safety protocols are strictly being observed at all our centers. The officials have lived up to expectation, and this is demonstrated by the information provided by their supervisors and the applicants who go to the registration centers. We are using this medium to encourage our officials to stay the course and finish the work successfully, since all Ghanaians are counting on them for a very credible register. As the registration has entered the home stretch, meaning the final phase, the Commission would like to reiterate that to qualify to register, one must be a Ghanaian. In other words, if you are not a Ghanaian, you have no business registering. The person must be 18 years and above and of sound mind, and he or she must not be prevented by any law from registering to vote. And the person must be a resident of the electoral area or ordinary resident of the electoral area in which he or she wants to register. If applicants meet the above requirements, they qualify to register and vote in the 7 December 2020 presidential and parliamentary election. If you don't qualify to register, you have no business going to any of the registration centers to register. The Commission also wishes to again inform the general public that this registration, just like all new registers compiled by the Commission, is an offline registration. The emphasis is on offline. As such, those applicants who have registered more than once will be identified through the deduplication process. Essentially, those who have registered more than once will have their names expunged from the register of voters once they are identified as having registered double or multiple. We are using this medium again to inform all those who have already registered not to go to the registration centers again to register, because our system will identify you and your name will be expunged from the register. Last week, the Commission introduced an information technology device known as Panabios to further strengthen queue management at our registration centers. The steps to access this service have been advertised in the traditional and social media. To access this service, one must dial *769# and then select option 3, which is event management. The next step is for applicants to choose option 1, where they will check into the event or venue. And the fourth step is where applicants will enter their registration center code and wait for a message with the details of a slot in the priority queue at their local registration centers. Applicants can also obtain their registration center codes by dialing 311. Applicants with smartphones can access this same system by following certain procedures which have been advertised in the social media. Currently, this is being piloted in 4 districts in the Greater Accra Metro: Ganof, Ladade, Kotopong, Adentan, and Tema Metro. The Commission expects to use this solution in future activities as a way of strengthening our safety protocols. Now, the guarantor system. Applicants who wish to register but do not have a passport or Ghana card can use the guarantor system. A registered voter can guarantee for at most 10 applicants. According to CI 126, Regulation 1, guaranteeing for more than 10 applicants is unlawful. Guarantors should therefore desist from such an act. You cannot guarantee for more than 10 persons. Also, guarantors should make sure they know the nationalities of the applicants they are guaranteeing for. In the event that those you are guaranteeing for are not qualified, guarantors will be held accountable for perjury. In other words, you are lying on your guaranteeing form. Do not guarantee for strangers. The details of guarantors are captured in our database, so it is important that you know the persons you are guaranteeing for. Now, foreigners trying to register. foreigners are prohibited from taking part in the registration exercise. We have noticed a disturbing report since last week, why Ghanaians who have registered will front for people of other nationalities to register. These are largely concentrated in border towns, but there are some in other places as well. It is a crime to guarantee for foreigners to register and vote. Again, if you are a guarantor, the onus lies on you to know the nationalities of the people you are guaranteeing for. But if the commission establishes that they are not Ghanaians and you actually guarantee for them, you are liable for prosecution. Foreigners who are caught trying to register will be prosecuted. An example is the Nigerian who was arrested and sentenced on Wednesday, July 29th by the Kaneshi District Court to 6 months imprisonment with hard labor for attempting to register at the Swag Clubhouse in the Ablekuma West District. As we speak now, the gentleman is behind bars. He attempted to register when he doesn't qualify to register. We also understand that the police are looking for those who guaranteed for him. There are 2 individuals who guaranteed for him. The police have their names and they are looking for them. We also know of 5 Nigerians, 5 people from Niger, who also made their first appearance at the same court. We expect the police to continue in this particular tangent so that anyone who is not qualified will not be given the chance to register. Political parties and activists of political parties should desist from encouraging foreigners to take part in the registration exercise. We are equally beseeching our registration officials to ensure that all those who come to them to register under the 1992 Constitution are people who are actually qualified. But the 1992 Constitution provides the guideline for those who qualify to register. The same applies to the CI 91. So if these individuals are not nationals of our country, they shouldn't be allowed. Again, if you are a foreigner, stay away from the registration centers. The challenge process. The challenge system or the challenging system embedded in the registration exercise is a civil process where anyone who qualifies to register as a voter can challenge others who avail themselves to register. The Commission maintains that if you suspect someone is not qualified to register, do not physically or verbally prevent the person from registering. Rather, just get the challenge form at the registration center and challenge the person. The challenge forms are available at all the registration centers. As you may be aware, the district registration review committees have begun their sittings on the challenge cases in all the districts that have challenge cases. The sittings are ongoing. And it's also important to emphasize that the exhibition of the register provides another opportunity for the names of applicants who do not qualify to be objected to in the register. In other words, if somebody registered as a foreigner or not qualified, the person is not yet 18 years and the person registered, during the exhibition, such names can still be objected to. So we should take note of that. Now, total number of registered voters per region. By the end of the 5th phase, on Thursday, 30th July, the Commission had registered a total of 14,367,906. 14,367,906, constituting 95.9% of our projected 15 million. These are provisional figures, as we have been stressing. They are provisional figures. The Commission is likely to exceed this target in the and as a Commission, we have maintained that registered voters between 14 to 16 million should be considered very, very much acceptable. But looking at what we are seeing, we may likely get 16 million people registered. The Greater Accra region leads the pack with 3,129,473 registered voters as at the end of the 5th phase, followed by the Ashanti regions 2,563,285. Then the Eastern region at 1,366,576. 70, followed by the central regions 1,330,353. These four regions give us almost 56% of all the registered voters nationwide. Now these are the breakdown for the various regions. Western region, 922,000 total registered so far. Western North, 379,426, 2.6%. Central, 1,330,353, 9.3%. Greater Accra, 3,129,473, 21.8%. Volta region, 816,069, 5.7%. Oti, 285,492, 2.0%. Eastern region, 1,366,570, 9.5%. Ashanti, 2,563,285, 17.8%. Bono, 563,731, 3.9%. Bono East, 491,561, 3.4%. Ahafo, 64,869, 1.8%. Savannah, 238,258, 1.7%. Northern region, 866,572, 6.0%. Northeast, 236,058, 1.6%. Upper West, 379,002, 2.6%, making a total of 14,367,906. The final phase of the registration started on Saturday in all the districts. Over 700,000 applicants were registered on Saturday, and these are the current regional figures inclusive of what happened on 974,293, making it 6.5%. So that's an increment. Western North is now 406,062, 2.7%. Central is now 1,404,018, 9.3%. Greater Accra is now 3,225,508, giving it 21.34. So when you look at since Saturday, Greater Accra has dropped a little bit. It used to be 21.8, it's now 21.34. Volta, 852,277, still 5.7. Oti is now 316,458, 2.1, that's an increment. Eastern region, 1,444,274, 9.6%. Ashanti region, 2,700,805, 585, 3.9%. Ahafo, 282,308, 1.9%. Bono East, 520,208, 3.5%. Savannah, 251,034, 1.7%. Northern region is now 922,395, 6.1%. That's also an increment. Northeast, 253,339, 1.7%. Upper East, 569,563, 3.8%. Upper West, 404,711, 2.7%, giving us a total of 15,117,438. 15,117,438. There are no changes in terms of the positions of the regions. However, we notice that in percentage terms, some regions have increased whilst others have decreased. With the remaining days for the registration exercise, we expect to see the numbers increasing in the regions where the registrations are taking place in urban centers with a lot of people. On this final table, the four most populous regions are giving us almost 58% of all registered voters. That's the Greater Accra region, the Ashanti region, the Eastern and the Central regions. In conclusion, what the final figure indicates is that we have exceeded our target for their cooperation in reaching this milestone. As we have indicated on several platforms, the Commission is deeply committed to registering all those who are qualified under CI 91, CI 126 as amended and under the 1992 Constitution. So what the Commission is saying finally is that for all those who have been registered, the Commission is urging them to go to the registration centers in their electoral areas to register for their voters' ID card. Thanks very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bosman, Erica Sari, Deputy Chairman in charge of corporate services for the comprehensive package. Now the floor is open. Let me roll out the rules. You have the opportunity to ask 6 questions, and it has to be one media house, one question. Please let's avoid double-barrel questions. And if a question is asked, don't rephrase, try to ask the question in another form again. I'd like for you to come this way respectfully and then ask your questions. One media house, one question, unless it's very necessary. Thank you. You mentioned the name of the media house. Your name?
My name is Joseph Akabi. I really joined this. Doc, you spoke about the challenge process. I want to find out what role the security agencies are supposed to play in that process. And I'm asking because we keep seeing videos. We've actually seen one over the weekend from Banda where soldiers are engaging people in a queue and the person walks away from the video alleging that the soldiers are preventing them from coming into register. We've also seen another one involving the NDC's General Secretary. We are preventing Ghanaians from coming into register. So I just want to understand the trying process that you highlighted. I didn't see any reference to any security agency. What exactly are they supposed to do with regards to that process? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Akabley. Let me remind you that we're live on Facebook as well. No.
My name is Sixtus Domino, CTFM and CTTV. I'm back with the question of reply again. We understand some people have gone to the court. Has this come to the attention of the Commission, and whether there are any intermediary measures that you are putting in place for them?
My name is Nanaji, and I work with Kingdom FM. It's now that the Commission has exceeded the target of 15 million. Will the Commission still have enough materials to continue with the registration?
I think the last question was asking whether we still have enough materials. This is to tell you that we have enough materials for the registration. So this target was exceeded on Saturday. Registration took place on Sunday. And as we speak now, registration is taking place. So the commission planned very well for it. The ROPA issue has also come to the attention of the commission. And since this is a matter before the court, I don't think we are in a better position to comment on it now. But generally, whatever the commission must do to ensure ROPA is implemented at our level, we have done it. Though the commission has a role to play, there are other organizations or agencies of state that also have a role to play. So we have done what we are supposed to do as a commission. I think in terms of the ROPA, the court ordered the commission to get a CI ready, which will be used to organize Ghanaians abroad to take part in the registration and voting. The commission has done that. The CI has been submitted. It's in Parliament currently. It's now the job of Parliament to hold a hearing on it. What is not. The commission has done that. So as far as the commission is concerned, for ROPA, I would say, for lack of a better phrase, we are very, very clean as far as that is concerned. Then there was a question about security agencies' role in the challenge process. As I said, the challenge process, when somebody is challenged, we have a committee that will sit and look at it. In that committee, we have the police commander of the district, the educational boss of the district, a traditional ruler in the district. Then we also have active political parties in the district taking part. And our district officer will serve as the secretary. So clearly, the security comes in because of the police. But with the example, Mr. Kable, you gave about some soldiers, no, electoral commission is mainly about elections management. When it comes to matters of security management, I think it's above our pay grade. So I would suggest that once it's a security issue, as far as we are concerned, we are election management experts, and that's what we do for living. So when the month ends and we are going for our paycheck, it's because of elections management. It has nothing to do with security management. We don't know the kind of intelligence the military and the police they get and why they do the things they do. I think they will be better placed to be able to explain that to Mr. Kable.
Any more questions?
Yes. My name is Mercy Dalo with TBC. We know that on Friday was a holiday and the EC had to call off the registration process. Tomorrow is also a holiday. Is the EC going to work tomorrow? And I know there's still just one question, but if you pardon me, we also know that the EC last month indicated that some centers that had the registration process delayed because of the issues with the machines would have extension of the process. Have you finally settled on the date when that is going to happen? Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Francis Ntowan. I write for the Ghanaian Times. I want to know with the challenge system, how many people have been challenged so far? And since the registration exercise began, you continue to tell us that the committee, the district review committee has sitting on these cases. How far have they reached with regards to it? Thank you.
I think the first question, tomorrow is a holiday. Tomorrow, registered, if not all of them. So for those particular places, there will be no extension. I remember last week the chairperson mentioned that there will be a mop-up at some selected places. So all those people who were not able to. But for this normal, regular registration, which is ending on Thursday, we are not going to extend it to any particular place. Then the question about the challenge. The challenge, the figures we keep updating on regular basis. Last week we had around 25,000 nationwide. And clearly when you look at the figures, some places tend to be more than others. We presented that somewhere. Usually when we have the districts close to the borders, the figures are usually high. So we'll try that our next presentation will give you some specific data on that. Because every day there is registration, there will be some form of challenge. So this is something we cannot readily give now, but we know we have exceeded 20,000, and we exceeded that around last week on Wednesday or so. Thank you.
Any more questions? I think that you have exhausted all the questions. And once again, we come to the end of another successful edition of Let the Citizen Know. Shall we then wrap up? Mr. Baker. Madam will give the time. That's okay.
Thank you. Your continued interest in the work of the Commission. Just to say thank you to the citizens of Ghana and to you, our media partners, for your continued support. We all know why we are here and why we are conducting the voters registration exercise. And on behalf of a credible and clean register, and as a commission, we will make sure that we have all the avenues and mechanisms in place to ensure that we have a clean and credible register. A register that reflects Ghanaians and Ghanaians only. A register that reflects persons who are eligible and eligible only. And so, as part of our process of cleaning, we would engage in all and use all mechanisms available to clean up the register to ensure that in the register. So I believe that these are processes that we will inform you about as we go on, but it is our desire and our determination to ensure that our register is clean. I believe that if we go to our neighboring countries, we will not have the opportunity to register there and to be on their own. Those who must determine who leads this country must be Ghanaian. And as a commission, it is our duty to ensure that the register reflects Ghanaians and Ghanaians only, and Ghanaians who qualify to vote in the election. So this is just to sum up that as we go on, these are some of the processes that we are engaged on, and in our attention has been drawn to attention all of stakeholders, citizens, and the police to be vigilant. And our citizens as well to be vigilant. I do not believe that any of us can go to Togo or Cote d'Ivoire, Benin or Niger for that matter, and go and register to voters, citizens there. And therefore, the onus is on all of us as citizens to be vigilant. And we are asking Ghanaians, when you go to a registration center in the next few days and you see people who are not citizens trying to go, takes the necessary action. But whilst we recognize that some of them may have found their way on our register, we like to assure all Ghanaians that we as a commission will do our best to expound their names and to ensure that at the end of the day, only Ghanaians who are eligible find their names on the register. So we'd like to thank you for your continued support. I'd like to thank you for ensuring that the citizens are informed about the process as it goes on. And we look forward to seeing you again on Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, for the closing remarks. Now we've come to the end of another edition of Let's the Citizenhood. I will bring down the curtain with a word of prayer by Dr. Sribu. Dr. Sribu, we are pastor.
Let's be grateful. Lord Jesus, we thank you once again for gathering here. We say you have been good to us. God, we started this journey with you in charge. Continue to count on you. You know, it's just by your grace that you are going to be where we are. Lord, it's our prayer that you take control again as we are at the burning care. Let all our commitment be towards a credible register and finally incontrovertible elections. Touch the heart of everybody, every stakeholder, that we all contribute towards a successful election 2020. Let it be said that Ghana has done it again, and this time the best election so far. It's our prayer that you protect all of us against COVID. Let it not be said that for legislation, this person or that person wouldn't have been affected. So we thank you for how far you have been protecting us. We really commit ourselves into your hand as we move to our various places of work and destinations. Be ahead of us, guide us. That even all our thinkings and dreams will be our contribution to Ghana with respect to this election and other activities. That in all things we say hallelujah to the we have it to the blood of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that wonderful prayer. Respectfully, the upstanding for our commissioners to take the us. Thank you so very much for coming.